A Thursday night on the Vegas Strip as the Golden Knights look to improve to 4-1 on this homestand. They meet the Detroit Red Wings for the second and final time this season. It is great to have you with us as the Golden Knights look to avenge a loss in Detroit a couple of weeks back. We'll take a look at our starting goaltenders, brought to you by Adam Kuttner. It is the 14th start of the season for Robin Lehner in net for the Golden Knights. The first time he has faced the Red Wings since March the 29th of 2018 with the Buffalo Sabres. At the other end of the ice, Thomas Greiss, 33 saves and a loss in Columbus on Monday, but he was real good, 38 saves in a victory over the Golden Knights in Detroit.
Well, time to take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your Desert Ford dealers. And for Golden Knights, they certainly need to play as a group, missing some key guys in this lineup. Need everybody to step up, and I think clean breakouts. They need to come out of their zone quick and clean, alleviate pressure and shots against.
The Golden Knights and the Red Wings at T-Mobile Arena tonight for Detroit. Its first visit to the Strip in 971 days. Underway from T-Mobile. And play on behind the Vegas net. Tyler Bertuzzi will play it back to the blue line. Danny DeKeyser wristing it towards the cage. And Bertuzzi backhands it up over the crossbar. On the puck loose, Nick Hague up ahead to Evgeny Dadonov. Dadonov took that stick between the eyes late in the game on Tuesday. That errant stick from Sebastian Aho. Here's Bertuzzi, and he'll flip it in from center as the Wings get a quick line change. Detroit coming off a 5-2 loss in Dallas on Tuesday. They fell behind 3-0. Got it to 3-2, but that was as close as they would get. Also gave up 5 in a loss in Columbus to start the road trip the night before. Here's Zach Whitecloud returning to the Vegas lineup tonight, missing the last 12 with that hand injury. Had to have surgery on it. He'll pinch in along the wing. And now Keegan Colasar for Braden McNabb. Out high, it's Riley Smith. His shot blocked wide. Colasar to the corner. Nick Leddy had it trickle away from him. Colasar centered it, blocked away in front. Good stick defensively by Philip Hronek. Now Waugh off to McNabb, went right between his skates and back down to Robin Lehner.
And a little close to McNabb, a good chance. Colasar looking for Smith off to the right of Greiss.
Red Wings have lost 3 out of 4 after a recent 3-game win streak. Beat the Golden Knights for the second win of that 3-game run. Puck in the neutral zone. Sven Baertschi on the ice for the VGK in his first game in a Golden Knights uniform. In his first NHL game in nearly 2 years, 1 day shy of 2 years. His last game in the NHL as a member of the Vancouver Canucks. Last season was his first season as a pro. He did not play any games in the National Hockey League. He's up front now along with Jake Lecision and Matthias Janmark. Puck loose on the wall to Janmark. He'll play it out top. Dylan Coughlin, a wrist shot. Blocked in front. We got Greiss may have got a piece of that. And the Wings will clear. And Giovanni Smith back in the lineup tonight after a healthy scratch for the last 3. He'll chip it in. Ben Hutton setting the breakout. And he'll snap it up the middle of the ice, went off the stick of Paul Cotter. Right back in, Michael Rasmussen dashing in on the wing, feeds it out in front. Shot missed the net. Pretty good chance for Adam Ernie, set up by Rasmussen. Paul Cotter starts it the other way. He'll throw it into the corner. Jonas Rondbjerg on the forecheck against Mo Seider. Rondbjerg keeps it alive on the wing and backhands it in behind the net. Nick Hague pinching in. Seider digs it out. And now Danny DeKeyser in his 10th year with Detroit. Seider in deep, the 20-year-old rookie. He'll bank it out to neutral ice. Nick Hague scales it back in. Now DeKeyser for Lucas Raymond. Top scoring rookie in the NHL this year. Mo Seider's right behind him. Passed it in the middle, picked off. Centered as Larkin. Raymond got it back. Larkin a wrist shot blocked by Pietrangelo. And he'll start the VGK the other way. Up ahead to Evgeny Dadonov, trying to get around Hronek. Backhands it out in front. Stevenson centered it, and it jumped off the stick of Stone. McNabb of the blue line to Pietrangelo. Kept it in right on the line as he wires it in behind the net. And Dadonov to McNabb and across to Pietrangelo again. Stevenson, the man out high. Give and go to Pietrangelo. Beats it out in front. Tipped on goal and a save made by Greiss. Dadonov in front had the tip, and Greiss holds on.
A couple of real smart plays by Alex Pietrangelo. It's what makes him so dangerous. Not only offensive, creative, but just his mind. He works quick. Great play here, and a good play. Stevenson just leaves that pass. That allows Dadonov to get a step on Roenick wide. And then a good play off the blue line, a little give and go. As soon as Pietrangelo gives it, he walks down the wall, and then a great feed to Dadonov in front as Greiss makes his best save of the game. And boy, that's the area we've seen Dadonov really love to go to that top of the blue paint, the crease area, get his chances and his goals.
Yeah, virtually all of them in tight. Kolasar and Suter on this draw. Kolasar wins it, McNabb has it. And he'll backhand it softly to the corner. Waugh with Kolasar and Smith up front for Vegas. Nick Waugh has it now, had a goal in Detroit a couple of weeks ago. Been held off the score sheet the last 4 games, playing in his 100th NHL game tonight. Kolasar, cross now to McNabb, looking, throws it on goal, steered away by Greiss to the corner. Now Whitecloud with a long wrist shot, sails wide. McNabb will move it in. And finally, a little bit of good news on the injury front for the Golden Knights. They get Zach Whitecloud back. Of course, they lost a defenseman in Shea Theodore. That last game against Carolina. First game's on a lineup for Shea since mid-February of last season. Waugh has a jump over his stick, but it rolls to neutral ice. Robin Leonard will cut it off behind the net. And now Zach Whitecloud starting it out. McNabb up the wall. Sven Baertschi chips it in. Janmark on the forecheck. Precision there too. Loose puck to Smith. And Giovanni Smith for the wings moves it out. Joe Veleno through center ice. Into the Vegas zone with a backhander and a save made by Leonard. Here's Sam Gagner. Recently hit the 900 game mark in his career. Janmark through center. Shovels to the corner. Haig, the first man up ice. And now Lecision behind the net. Pietrangelo keeps it alive. Sends it down for Lecision. Giovanni Smith with a body on him, and that sprung it loose for Sam Gagner. Gagner to the red line. He'll send it in. The Wings make wholesale changes. So Paul Cotter. And at center ice, Brett Howden deflects it in deep. Thomas Greiss to play it. Last 17 games now for the Wings. They have rotated their goaltenders. Up ice, here's Nemesnikov, a shot, and he missed it. Odd man rush, Nemesnikov with Rasmussen. Nemesnikov had a goal against Vegas last time out.
Well, he's had a great start to the season, 7 goals for Nemesnikov already.
All of them at even strength, tied for the league lead in that category. And he almost had another one. There's Nick Leddy. Undefeated in front, and it wouldn't settle for Nemesnikov. Hronek swings it around the boards. Leddy had to go by him, and Cotter wants a change as he backhands it in. So Philip Hronek with some time. Shots are even at 3 apiece. Hronek flushed out of the forecheck by Mark Stone. Dylan Larkin at center dumps it in. 5 goals in his last 5 games for the Wings captain. Now Larkin in the corner. And a feed it out in front. Leonard got a piece of that. Puck loose for Dadonov. McNabb up ahead for Stone. Deflects into the middle of the ice for Tyler Bertuzzi. Pass to Lucas Raymond doesn't click. Dadonov, Stone, and Stevenson 3-on-2. Dadonov down the wing. Out of Stevenson. Feeds it out in front. Tip. The net came loose. Whitecloud was crashing the net. And the play is blown dead. Whitecloud's got what's left of a broken stick.
Oh, lucky Whitecloud didn't get injured on this play. He went hard into that post, the right post, and you can see Mark Stone immediately talking with the referees who are going to huddle right now. But a good rush that started Stevenson, a good defensive play. Stick lift leads to a 4-on-2, and Stevenson tries to find Whitecloud, and it's like he may have got tripped up by Sider right at the last second. There's the stick lift by Stevenson. Great defensive play. And here's a look. Does that puck go in before the net crosses? Is that what Stone had a good view. That puck was going into the net, and then it comes off. As Whitecloud driving goes off his skate, off another skate. Whitecloud knocks the net off, but was the puck in motion?
On that overhead look, it appeared the net had started to come loose. before the puck went over the goal line. So the referees tonight, Gord Dwyer and Justin St. Pierre, with the iPad out to take a peek.
Well, I'll take another look. You can see it's going to go off White Cloud skate, then Raymond skate, and Stone celebrating. There's the overhead, maybe the best look. And the net is off.
Well, you can't blame Stone for trying to sell it.
Oh, another look at the Toyota instant replays. Well, they're taking a long look at it.
And it looks like they've made a decision.
After review, the net was up before the puck crossed the goal line. We have no goal.
And that's what it looked like to us. And Pete DeBoer's wondering about a trip. White Cloud went into that crossbar pretty hard. This Dave. No score here in the opening period. I think it's pretty obvious that the net came loose, Shane, but Pete DeBoer wanted a tripping penalty on the call.
Yeah, long discussion with Gord Dwyer after. Watch the stick of Sider right in the feet of White Cloud, and puck was already in motion. You can see the net clearly comes off before it crosses the line, but there's the stick by Sider that trips up White Cloud. And he's driving the net. Kind of a chop slash, no call on the play, and they play on.
The Golden Knights, it's a small sample size, looking for their first win in this building against Detroit. The only team the Golden Knights did not beat at the Fortress. Detroit with 2 wins and 2 all-time visits, to the last of which was March 23rd of 2019. Nick Hague plays it into the Detroit zone. And now Philip Hronek will bank it around for Nick Leddy. Snaps it across. And Philip Zadina had a goal in Dallas a couple of nights back, ending an 8-game drought. His wrist shot blocked wide. Petrangelo, pressured by Zadina, lost it. Pius Suter backhands it to Nick Leddy, and across now to Hronek walking in. His shot, pad save Leonard. Rebound, cleared away by Waugh. And now Colasar. Lost it in the neutral zone. Hague will flip it in high and deep. And Nick Leddy back to get it. Came over in a trade with the Islanders in the offseason after 7 years on the island. Back-to-back trips to the semifinals. Wrist shot from the Mestikov. A check it from Valeno, gloved by Robin Leonard. He'll hold on. So no score. 8 minutes into the game. And as we said, Shane, it's been a long, long time since the Red Wings were here at the Fortress.
Well, it certainly has been like that for a lot of teams since they've been here. The rosters have changed on both sides. It was Mantha who was the hero in that game, scoring in overtime. He's moved on to Washington since. You see that last game in 2019.
But Anthony Mantha in his 2 games in this building with the Red Wings had big impacts on him. You saw the overtime goal there. Remember in season 1, he was the one that crashed into Marc-Andre Fleury early. And Fleury was gone for a couple of months with a concussion.
He started the goalie rotation.
Sure did. Osterley pinching in. Jordan Osterley in the Detroit lineup. Mark Stahl out, missing his first action of the season due to illness, not COVID related. In deep, Gagne and Coghlan behind the net. Giovanni Smith steps in to play it. Here's Osterley. Cross not a Lindstrom. Long wrist shot and a glove save by Robin Leonard. He'll hold it and take a face-off. No goaltender in the league has faced more shots. No goalie's made more saves than Robin Leonard so far this year. Pete DeBoer said after the game Tuesday, Shane, he was our best player again.
Well, and certainly they'd like to cut down on the shots against. It's been an issue for the Golden Knights as you look at what Leonard's been able to do. Been the busiest goaltender this year in shot volume, also saves. For the first time, the organization's given up back-to-back 40-plus shot games.
Has 77 saves for Leonard over his last 2 starts. Off this face-off, McNabb takes the high road to get it out. Braden already with a couple of goals this year. Had 2 each of the last 2 seasons. Or Mark Stone called it his trick shot. Working on his trick shot in the offseason. The big goal the other night. Now Howden will work it up the boards and backhand it in. Paul Cotter to the corner, trying to shake loose from Rasmussen, dishing it off for Ronbjerg. Banks it out to Whitecloud to the blue line. Long wrist shot, sails high to the back glass. McNabb pinching down. Howden behind the net. Shoved down by Ernie. Seider takes a bump from Cotter. And the puck back to neutral ice. And Braden McNabb has it. Yeah, league high 19 games played for the Red Wings tonight, tied with Montreal for the most played in the NHL. Danny DeKeyser. And now back to center ice comes Tyler Bertuzzi. Team high 9 goals for him this year. Larkin feeds it across. Good stick by Pietrangelo to get a piece of that pass intended for Raymond. Larkin in deep. Feeds it out in front to Raymond, and his shot blocked wide by Pietrangelo. Real good look for the 19-year-old rookie. Now Lenny backdoor takes it behind the net, and Raymond's shot got blocked wide. Pietrangelo and Haig were both there. One of them saved a goal. And a whistle with 9:55 left. What a chance. Lenny setting up Raymond. It was Alex Pietrangelo with a save.
Alex Pietrangelo with some great defensive sticks a couple of times on this play, and this may be the best one. Is a little feed from Lenny to Raymond. Raymond thought he had an open net. Leonard out, and the stick of Alex Pietrangelo, just the blade gets there just in time to deflect that Raymond shot wide, and a little glove blocker tap, I guess, from Robin Leonard.
Real good work by Alex Pietrangelo. Saved a goal. Lucas Raymond and a power play goal against the Golden Knights. The last meeting between these teams. Here's Bertuzzi at center. And he'll dish it back to Hronek. Red Wings have outshot the Golden Knights 6-0 over the last 6 minutes. Bertuzzi dropping it off for Raymond. He'll throw it wide of the net. Waugh trying to move it out. Kolasar does as he banks it in. Didn't gain the red line though. And an icing on the VGK in a scoreless first period with 9.5 minutes left.
Oh, there's a look at head coach of Detroit, Jeff Blashill. And he got a vote of confidence from Steve Yzerman, his 7th season with the Red Wings, and real tough season last year, but certainly has a group of players that like playing for him. It's a young group, and patience probably maybe the biggest thing that he's been able to provide this group with as they grow, and certainly now some young talent. Mentioned Seider and Raymond added to this lineup.
In the corner, snapped on goal by Zadina. Leonard holds tight. No playoffs the last 5 years for the Red Wings, their longest stretch since the early 80s. They missed it 5 in a row in 15 of 17. Well, then, of course, went on that incredible run of 25 straight years. In the midst of the rebuild. Studer darting in, rolls up on Coghlan. He'll backhand it in deep. Red Wings made it 25 in a row, 30 of 32. They built those great teams. Steve Yzerman, the centerpiece of those. Seider giving chase ahead of Stevenson. Plays it up ahead, held in by Dodonov. His pass blocked. Stevenson gets it black. Been a point-a-game player for the Golden Knights this year. 16 points in 16 games for him. Played a career high 22-48 on Tuesday night. Dodonov for Stone, out top Coghlan, drive, save, Greiss up high. Rebound, Dodonov got all tied up, and a penalty here. Gonna be DeKeyser for the hook. When allowed Dodonov to get to that loose puck.
Oh, real good shift by Dodonov.
Detroit 65. Right up a hook.
The hooking. Dodonov made a great play in the defensive zone, strong, and then going to the front of the net. Good movement, shot by Coghlan. Look at Dodonov. Keeps his feet moving, trying to get to that loose puck, and DeKeyser just gets the stick in. It was a good job as Dodonov might have had a chance trying to set up Hutton, who was down there, but he hooks up Dodonov, so the first power play of the game. Golden Knights were 0 for 1 last game, 0 for 3 in Detroit.
And the Golden Knights on their first power play of the night, brought to you by Adam Kuttner. Pietrangelo rips it wide. And now Dodonov in behind the net. He'll play it around to Stone. Pietrangelo straight away. Around to Stevenson. Here's Waugh, deflected away from him by Lindstrom, and he'll flip it high all the way down the ice.
Well, the Red Wings have done a real good job shorthanded over the last 6 games. They've gone 16 for 16.
And I said the Golden Knights have picked it up on the power play. 5 power play goals in their last 6. As Suter flips it down, and Leonard got a pad on it. Suter hustling, puts it back on net. Leonard able to steer that one away. And now Mark Stone, the Golden Knights captain, picked up his first 4 shots on goal of the season Tuesday night. Banks it to himself down the wing. Curls up the boards, feeds it to Dadonov. Touch pass to Pietrangelo. Looking, rush shot on a save. Greiss through the screen of Waugh. Puck loose behind the net. Waugh shovels it around the boards. Stevenson keeps it alive. And now back on it. Sam Gagner. And he'll bounce one in on Leonard. Pietrangelo deep in his own territory. And we're coming up on 40 seconds to go on the Vegas power play. Golden Knights looking to break the ice. Here's Nick Hague. Backhand feed towards Keegan Colasar. Rasmussen on a loose puck. And he'll snap it all the way down the ice. And Dylan Coghlan. 14 straight in the lineup for Dylan. His longest stretch as a member of the Golden Knights. The loose puck cleared out by Nemesnikov.
Well, Detroit does a real good job. If you don't have clean passing, they're going to be aggressive, able to close the gap quickly.
Now the Golden Knights able to muster just 1 shot on the power play, which has come to an end. Kaiser out of the box has the puck come to him. He'll gain the Vegas line. Drop pass to Bertuzzi. Feeds it out in front. Larkin. And to put it towards the net. Pad save Leonard. And Janmark skates it out. He'll bank it in. Real good chance for Dylan Larkin. And he'll wind it up from deep in his own territory. Lost it though. Pass out in front, deflected away to Raymond. And now here is Bertuzzi with a high lob into the Vegas zone. McNabb banks it around the White Cloud. Pass to Lecision didn't click. Good stick by McNabb though to tip it out. Osterley, rink wide for Lucas Raymond. 7 goals and 18 points on the season. Lead all rookies. Mo Seider, his teammate right behind him, with 13 points on the year. Last rookie teammates to lead the league in rookie scoring a long, long time ago. 20 years ago, Danny Heatley and Ilya Kovalchuk, the old Atlanta Thrashers. Puck loose along the corner. Veleno back to the Kaiser with a wrist shot, deflected wide. Pietrangelo has it now, and Dadonov will start it out. He took a hit from Giovanni Smith as he played it. Back into the zone come the wings, deflected on net by Veleno, and a save made by Leonard. Out top to Kaiser with a wrist shot, tipped wide. Giovanni Smith, and a find it. Squirts loose out top for the Kaiser. And Dadonov settles it and shovels it out to Stone. Here's Dadonov at the end of his shift. And the Wings with possession, and Hronek. Flushed out by Nick Waugh. He'll start it out. Shots are 14-5 for Detroit. White Cloud giving chase around to McNabb. Nice little feed on the backhand to Riley Smith. Nick Waugh through center with Keegan Colasar on the rush. Waugh down the wing. Colasar pinned by Robbie Fabry. Colasar works it loose. Waugh, a little short pass to Riley Smith. And to make his way towards the corner. Plays it out high. White Cloud feeds it to Waugh. Trying to find a little bit of daylight. Dishing it to McNabb. Walks the blue line. And he'll backhand it in. Riley Smith in deep. And a spin loose. Still has it. Waugh out in front. Waugh still has it to put it on goal, and Greiss with a glove save. Good patience by Riley Smith to find Nick Waugh in front, but Greiss with a glove.
Just under 4 minutes left in the first period, and surprise, surprise, we got to see Zach Whitecloud make his return to the lineup tonight, already making a big difference, but most importantly, making that injury and illness list just a little bit shorter. Guys, I don't know if I would believe this list if we didn't know it to be true, but Max Pacioretty, William Karlsson, Jack Eichel, Shea Theodore, and Nolan Patrick all on the injury list. Jonathan Marchessault, William Carrier, and Michael Amadio now in COVID protocol. So nice to have some good news back tonight, at least as Zach Whitecloud is back, and he's had a couple good looks already.
Sure has, Ashley. Yeah, it's hard to believe. Right, 5 players on the injured list, 3 more in COVID protocol. Michael Amadio, the most recent on that list. Golden Knights had an optional practice yesterday, then they canceled their media availability after the positive test for Amadio. Canceled everything this morning at CNA, and just to keep everyone away and safe and get ready for the game tonight. Ben Hutton deep in his own territory. Up ahead, and Matthias Janmark plays it. Jake Lecision streaking down the wing on Rasmussen, throws it on goal, and Greiss standing upright on that short side post, made the glove save. He'll hold it for a whistle and a scoreless first period, just over 3 minutes left. And now this from Knockvie Injury Law.
Focus on the facts when picking a lawyer. Call Knockvie at 702-INJURED.
Lecision with that shot, Dave, and it's not often we see Greiss, a goaltender, stand upright. Usually a lot of those goals, short side, upstairs. See a lot of players now aiming for that area as goalies usually go down.
Now, what do they call it? The reverse V or HV or something?
Reverse VH?
VH? V8? Never had a V8? Here's Haig. Throws it in front, and Dodonov tipped it wide, but a penalty here. Haig got tripped up as he made that pass. And the Golden Knights back to the power play. Lucas Raymond to the box.
Now this comes right off the face-off.
Detroit 23 right up for tripping.
As Raymond trips up Nick Haig coming down that wall. A good face-off win. Haig's just going to roll the outside, kind of a little move, and there's the stick of Raymond that trips up Haig. Right as he's trying to get by, right under the left skate. Well, for the Golden Knights, as Troy's carried a lot of this middle period here. Vegas a good chance here late to get going on the power play.
With Stevenson, Waugh, Dodonov, Pietrangelo, and Stone, the power play unit. Here's Stevenson. He'll feed it down towards Dodonov. Deflected off his stick. Waugh in the corner. Sider able to win the battle with him and send it all the way down the ice. Alex Pietrangelo back on it. Golden Knights had a 1 shot on their first power play, coming away empty. Dodonov gains the line, snaps it across to Stone. Pulls up along the half wall, a little short feed to Stevenson. And Chandler off to the best start of his career. Now Waugh off to Stone, turns into the circle. His shot blocked wide to the corner. Stevenson has it now. Pietrangelo with the line. Now Stevenson surveys the scene, hits Waugh in the middle, return pass right back to Stevenson. Pietrangelo out high, wrist shot blocked in front. Puck loose to Stone. Now Pietrangelo again, feeds it down the middle, tip and a save Greiss. Dodonov had the deflection. Stone was in the neighborhood too, and Gagne clears.
Well, Dodonov getting a piece of that puck and a good save for Greiss. Waugh just couldn't get to that rebound.
Hronek on a loose puck. He'll wrist it all the way down. Wings have killed off their last 17 shorthanded. 35 seconds left in this one. And Rasmussen trying to get around Coghlan. Rasmussen into the zone. Coghlan going to ride him towards the end boards. And Rasmussen stayed with it. He'll zip it back to Osterley. And here's Hronek killing some time. Up ahead to Nemestikov, who tips it in deep. Dylan Coghlan. Time perhaps for one last rush on this man advantage. Riley Smith has it deflect off his stick. And Lindstrom rips it down ice. So nothing doing for the Golden Knights on that power play. The best chance that tip from Dodonov. There's 1 shot on the man advantage for Vegas. Under a minute to go in the first now as Cotter winds it in. Greiss will play it. Now Bertuzzi. Leddy behind his own net, chased down by Cotter. Reverses his direction and leads it off for Gustav Lindstrom. Now Bertuzzi, pressured by McNabb. Puck loose, and Lindstrom has it. Leddy moving it up ahead. Raymond's pass across Bertuzzi was a touch behind him. Tyler Bertuzzi played just 9 games last year. Season-ending back surgery. Off to a terrific start this season. Pass in front from Janmark didn't click. He was looking for Houghton. And now Raymond inside his own territory. Clock ticking away here in the opening period. Bertuzzi's pass into the middle, taken away by Berchi up to Janmark, but that did not connect. And the first period comes to a close. No score after 20 minutes.
I thought the Golden Knights came out the way they wanted to start that first period. They were able to chip pucks, get in on the forecheck, have some puck possession, but Detroit kind of took over as they outshot the Golden Knights 14-8 in period number 1.
Yeah, the first scoreless opening period for the Golden Knights on home ice so far this year. So no score after 1. Shots are 14-8 in favor of Detroit. We'll send it back upstairs. Here's Darren.
Oh, Dave, I love it when you're talking goaltending there. Reverse VH, stand-up style, butterfly, whatever it is. Robin Lehner has it going on right now. Another strong opening frame by the VGK netminder. Coming up in the first intermission, Ashley Weiss hoping to catch up with Zach Whitecloud. And Darren Elliott has a new favorite player, Evgeny Dadonov. It's all coming up in the first intermission next.
By R.C. Willing, your home, your way. And by Universal Solar Direct. Pay less for your electric. Oh, look at the Vegas Golden Knights. A little nice program. Of course, it was great to see Derek Stevens on with the guys before the game tonight. He's been a great ambassador for youth hockey here in Vegas. $500,000 donated over the last 5 years. So we're back inside T-Mobile Arena. No score after 1. Shane, what did you see from between the benches?
I think it's kind of what we said at the end of the period. I thought the Golden Knights did a good job initially to start that game. They came out, executed the way they wanted. They chipped pucks, got it deep, and win battles. Talked about winning those battles along the wall, pucks to the point, traffic to the front. They wanted to simplify their game, create some good chances in front, and then attack with speed through the neutral zone. Good little play. Pietrangelo sent Dadonov in. Chance for Stone right in front. And another play by Pietrangelo centering Dadonov. And a big save by Grice a couple of times in this one. Whitecloud, the puck was heading across the line, but he knocked it off. But after that, it was kind of Detroit who took over. Robin Lehner was excellent. Great stick defensively by Alex Pietrangelo on that play. And another save Lehner as Larkin came in off the rush.
Take a look at our stats through 1 tonight. Shots were 13-8 in favor of Detroit. As you see at the bottom of the screen there, 7 straight periods for the VGK being outshot. Their longest run they've had in team history. Of course, these two teams overall yield a lot of shots. Golden Knights yield the most each night. Detroit right behind them. And some of that change, especially with the Golden Knights and what they've gone through, is to be expected.
Well, certainly with the key injuries, key people out of the lineup, makes it a little more difficult with some guys getting used to the system, getting used to the NHL. But all that said, no excuses. You got to find a way.
Second period underway. Here's Mark Stone right off the bat. And the pass across, taken away by Lucas Raymond. He'll feed it out. And Lucas Raymond had a golden chance, basically an open net in the first period that Alex Pietrangelo made the save on. Raymond couldn't believe it. Here's Larkin feeding in front. Dadonov intercepts up ahead of Stevenson. It jumped away from him, and the Kaiser banks it in. Pietrangelo to Stone. Wires it in from center. And the puck around the boards for Mo Seider. Ran into Stone. Pops loose for Raymond. He'll jam it up the glass. Not out. McNabb gloving it to keep it in. Now the Kaiser in deep. Puck loose on the wall to McNabb. He'll shovel it towards the neck. A deflected, and Grice flashed out the right pad. Waugh to McNabb. Down low, Janmark looking to center it. Grice covers it. Riley Smith and Nick Waugh in the neighborhood.
Oh, good shift. Nice little play by Braden McNabb at the point as the puck comes back to him. Can move to the inside, back out. That opens up the lane to the net. Little shot deflection in front. Janmark was there, and then puck recovery. Waugh gets it back. Down low again. Get it to the front of the net. That bounced off Seider's stick right into the glove of Grice.
Well, face off here in the Detroit zone. A little different wrinkle here. Pete DeBoer shaking up a little bit in the second period, bumping up Janmark to play on the line with Waugh and Riley Smith. Most of the first period, Kolasar was riding shotgun on that line, and it's Lecision with Kolasar and Sven Berchi now. Here's Leddy. And the veteran defenseman will steer it off for Filip Hronek. gains the red line and sends it in around the boards. Zadina slams it right back around. Robbie Fabry had a power play goal against the Golden Knights earlier in the season. Wings for 2 for 4 on the power play in that 5-2 win at Little Caesars Arena. Suter, he had one of the goals, and now Hronek puts it in around the glass. Puck around the wall. Mileno had it deflected away by Ronbjerg. Ben Hutton pressure by Giovanni Smith. Hutton down. Good second effort. They're trying to stay with it. Giovanni Smith or Joe Mileno. And now Smith again, bumped by Hutton, trying to feed it out in front, went right through the crease. Lecision couldn't get it out. Held in out near the blue line by Lindstrom. Now Hutton. He'll chip it out to neutral ice. Lindstrom right up ahead for Sam Gagner. Down the wing. He'll take it in behind the Vegas net. Out to Osterley, across the line for Lindstrom. Back across the seam to Gagner. Into the middle, Giovanni Smith broken up as Brett Howden got a piece of him. And the puck back to neutral ice. Howden has it rolled away. Osterley moves it up ahead. Gagner gets his feet moving, and then Ben Hutton with a big hit, wiping out Eric Rasmussen.
Well, he had pressure from Ronbjerg, Rasmussen, and then good hit by Hutton.
Michael Rasmussen got taken out. Ernie didn't appreciate it. He and Ben Hutton dropped the gloves. A second fight for Ben Hutton, already in a Vegas uniform. And he and Ernie, a couple of punches along the corner, and that's that.
Well, Ernie sticking up, for Rasmussen, and you mentioned Ben Hutton's second fight already with the Golden Knights. Had one in his very first game in a VGK uniform. Here's a look at the hit. Rasmussen looking behind him as Ronbjerg's got some back pressure, and Hutton steps up. Good, clean, hard check. That's very clean, shoulder to chest. And then a look after as Ernie comes in. And Hutton exchange a few before they go down.
Well, Ben Hutton in the box fought Jason Dickinson of the Canucks recently. First Golden Knight ever, by the way, to get a fight in his VGK debut. With the big hit on Michael Rasmussen, and then Ernie came in.
Well, it's 2 fights in 3 games.
Not usually what you see Ben Hutton doing. But when the moment arises, Fabry and Stevenson on this draw. Here's to Kaiser. Pass across, tipped out of the zone. Now the Kaiser plays it up the wing. And Estenkov throws it in. Haig back to get it. Puts it high around the glass. The Kaiser keeps it alive. 6th career fight for Ben Hutton. Number 7 for Adam Ernie. They sit 5 for fighting. Stevenson zips it across to Pietrangelo. Drops it off for Mark Stone. Wrist shot. Rice got a piece of it. Stuck in the back of the net. They wanted to play on, and they do. Stone in the corner trying to work his way loose. Here's Pietrangelo out top of the wrist shot. Blocked in front, loose puck to Haig, and he scores! Nick Haig jumping on the loose puck, fires it home, and the Golden Knights lead 1-0.
Oh, good job getting in on the forecheck, get the puck back to win the battle behind the net. Out to the point, and Nick Haig, partner of Pietrangelo, is going to jump down as Stone gets a south shot to the net, traffic in front, and it comes to Haig, and he rips it glove side for his 3rd of the year. A really good work. It all starts down low. Good shot to Donna parked in front, and Haig gets to that loose puck as he's falling, puts it upstairs. 1-0 Vegas.
Yeah, it came just 43 seconds after the Fighting Majors to Hutton and Ernie. Leonard down in the crease as the Wings are pressing. There's Raymond. Plays it in the slot, taken away by Riley Smith. But here's pressure right away by Hronek. So Nick Haig, his 3rd at .331. Nick had 5 goals last season. Already with 3 this year in the first 17 games. Janmark dishing it. McNabb has it. Headshot and a save. Grice. Squeezed it between the blocker and glove, and he'll hold it.
Another good play up the ice, and Golden Knights, their defensemen have been a big part of the offense for this team. Last year and again this year, as Haig gets the goal, McNabb with a good chance after that, and Alex Pietrangelo will pick up another point.
Well, the Golden Knights get on the board first. And a face-off in the Detroit zone. So Nick Haig opens the scoring. Off this draw, the puck loose. Dadonov, Pietrangelo with the assist. Pius Suter starts it out for Detroit. He'll flip it in deep. Haig will play it around the wall. And now Kolasar shovels it out. Tapped away, though, by Lindstrom. Nick Haig to reset. Off ice, pass picked off by Suter. Fabry trying to cut outside in on Haig. Out in front to Zadina, and a big save made by Leonard. A bang play on the Wings' first shot of the period.
Well, great play by Fabry, and then the right pad of Leonard makes a big stop on Zadina.
Zadina into the zone with Suter. Up back comes Haig the other way. He'll send it in as he heads off for a change. Suter for Veleno at center. Trying to work his way down the wing against Coghlan, who stays with him stride for stride. Works it back up top. Runs it down the wall for Gagne. Lays it off to Veleno again. Back towards Gagne. Good stick by Cotter to tip it away. McNabb shoved down by Giovanni Smith. Cotter looking to clear it. Comes right back to him, and on the second effort he gets it out. Von Burg to Coghlan. And McNabb up the middle. Howden posting up. Paul Cotter swings it in. Leddy back to get it. Under a little pressure from Howden. Puck up the wall. Stone to Dadonov. Back to Stone. And the pass is behind Haig. Just a touch. Howden in deep. Stone has it now. Feeds it across. Whitecloud a shot. Score! Zach Whitecloud back in the lineup. His first of the season has made it 2-0.
Another D-man able to put it in the back of the net, and what a play by Mark Stone to set up Zach Whitecloud. Whitecloud reads his play as Stone comes up the wall. He's going to read that opening in the seam, that knowing Stone can find him. The little puck down low, and look at Whitecloud go in, and Mark Stone, a great feed across. Whitecloud makes a little move right at the end. He's going to change the angle, the outside, and he goes 5-0 under the pads of Grice. 2-0 Vegas.
And both goals from Golden Knights defensemen. And here's Nick Waugh looking for more with a backhand and a pad save. Grice. Coghlan wristing it off the back glass. The Golden Knights almost were up 3. Riley Smith's wrist shot blocked out of play. 13:45 to go in the second. The Golden Knights with 2 goals in a span of 2:25 are up 2-0.
Second, thanks to these two, Zach Whitecloud and Nick Haig, who last season were D partners most of the time, but things have switched up a little bit. We've seen Nick Haig with Alex Pietrangelo the last several weeks, and we asked Steve Spott what he's liked about those two together a couple of weeks ago, and he said it's great because it gives Haig the confidence to get out and chip in offensively because he knows that he's covered in the back by a veteran like Alex Pietrangelo, and that's what we see there, him going to the net with confidence. And obviously great to see Zach Whitecloud get in on the action too, guys, just more production from the defense.
And as you see, Ashley, now the Golden Knights lead the league in goals from the back end, up now to 13. Including both goals so far tonight. We're going to penalty. See what we have here.
Hank McNabb.
Vegas penalty number 3, 2 minutes delay game, closing his hand on the puck.
And McNabb grabbed that puck at center ice and closed his hand on the puck before he played it. So I'll take a look. Just before that, McNabb was Kind of a high floater out to center ice. He fielded, held on a little too long, closed his hand on the puck before he made that play up the end mark. So first power play of the game for Detroit. They're 2 for 4 in the last game against the Golden Knights, the man advantage.
Also 1 for 1 of their last game in Dallas on a Dylan Larkin power play goal. Golden Knights had a run of 13 straight kills come to an end against Carolina in their last game. Yeah, the Red Wings zipped it around pretty good on the power play in Detroit against the VGK. Puck loose and Fabry has it. Down the wall. They'll bank it back now to Seider. First power play of the game for Detroit. Bertuzzi in deep. Plays it back to the line, but that missed Seider and sails down the ice. Those 2 power play goals against the Golden Knights were a season high 2 in a game for the Wings. Larkin gains the line. Here's Bertuzzi, broken up on the wall by Whitecloud, and he'll jam it out. The first time ever that Zach Whitecloud and Nick Hague have scored in the same game in the regular season. Pietrangelo rips it out. As Ashley said, real good friends off the ice, paired together in the minors, paired together for most of the last couple of years in Vegas.
Kind of come up together, and that's the exciting thing. Not only have they both come up together through the American Hockey League, but both very impactful here for this defensive core of the Golden Knights.
Now Zadina darting in. Pietrangelo back on it behind the net. Puck up the wall, and Ronbier with some skating room. He'll hit the red line and softly sweep it in. Nothing doing yet for Detroit on this power play inside the final 25 seconds of it. Leddy to center. Scales it around the glass. Smith with Waugh and Hague along with Coughlin on the penalty kill for Vegas. There is Gagne looking drive and a save made Leonard. Good look. Best look of the power play for Detroit. Off the stick of Sam Gagne. McNabb about ready to come out of the box. Aronik along the right side. Full strength for Vegas now. Gagne along the left wing and a jump off his stick. He had the lone shot for Detroit on the power play. Puck loose on the boards. Riley Smith looking to move it out. Out high Rasmussen sends it. And they get deflected out of play. Roll a face-off. The Golden Knights at full strength.
Oh, great job by Vegas on this penalty kill. The only chance that Detroit really had was this one by Gagne. Walks in, quick shot, and a good save by Leonard. Well, Riley Smith takes that far post on the block lane, and that allows Leonard just to shift and cover the short side and make the save on Gagne.
Robin Leonard, so far tonight, turned away all 15 shots from Detroit. And a face-off in the Vegas end between Stevenson and Rasmussen. Here's McNabb, plays it around the Whitecloud. Said it was a dozen games out of the lineup for Zach Whitecloud. Dadonov streaking in, cuts into the middle, still has it and centered it. It's intended for Stevenson, but the pass got blocked. Ernie laying off for Rasmussen. Back into the middle, Nemestikov had his stick lifted, and the Golden Knights looking to push it the other way. Dadonov, McNabb, and Stevenson. Stevenson looking. He'll curl back. Leaves it off for Stone. Rolls to the board. Stevenson a long drive. Deflected over the net. Rasmussen on the wing. And now Nemestikov for the Kaiser. He'll throw it in. McNabb has it. Plays it around the Whitecloud. It's in the 4th game of the year that Zach Whitecloud got hurt. Took that shot off the hand from Duncan Keith of the Oilers. Missed 12 in a row before returning tonight. Seider dishing it off for Fabry. His wrist shot blocked by Whitecloud. And Whitecloud will turn it up the ice. A high flip into the Detroit zone. Osterley banks it around for Seider. A redirect. Diving to poke it away. Fabry up ahead through center. Devontae Smith. Driving wide. Slams the brakes on against Hague. Throws it towards the net. Tipped over the crossbar by Boleno. Boleno on the right wing. Now Giovanni Smith gloving it down. Pass blocked by Pietrangelo. Sven Baertschi trying to dig it out. Pietrangelo stays in the battle too. Out in front to Larkin and a big save. Leonard, puck loose behind him. Did they signal goal? No. Maybe they did. They did. Giovanni Smith was there. It was a scramble behind Leonard, and the Wings have got on the board.
I can see Jeff Blashill signaling. Leonard made 2 great stops, and the Wings just swarmed the net. A loose puck sitting off to the left of Leonard. There's the initial save. There's the follow-up save by Leonard. And then it gets pushed to the side. And there's Smith. Just gets it across the line. Well, good work in front. It's Larkin that had the first couple of chances. 1, 2, and then he just pushes it to the side, and Smith able to shovel it just across the line. Baertschi a second too late.
Now the 2 big stops by Leonard on Larkin, but Giovanni Smith back in the Detroit lineup. He's been a healthy scratch the last 3 games. And he has his first of the season at 10:19.
That whole play, Dave, was a great diving play by Fabry in the defensive end to knock the puck out.
And now Dylan Larkin on the wing. Bertuzzi. Puck loose. Ben Hutton up the boards, and it's deflected out to neutral ice. All the goals in the game coming in this middle period. The Red Wings among the league's best in terms of scoring in the middle frame. Leddy has it, and he'll steer it back for Hronek. 9 minutes to go in the second. Mark Stone with a steal, streaking in, pulls up, leaves it for Dadonov. Watched closely by Hronek in deep. Stone trying to dig it out of the pack. He does. Tapping it back to McNabb. Walks to the middle. Wrist shot blocked. And Larkin feathers it out. McNabb back to get it. Coghlan into the middle for Stevenson. He'll backhand it in. Ronberg on the forecheck. Now Connor. Leaned on by Suter. Connor keeps it moving. And a cut back. Suter stayed with him all the way. Ronberg into the corner. Trying to protect the puck against Leddy. He does. Finds a little bit of daylight. Shot blocked. Looked like it hit his own man Howden. Suter leads the Wings 3-on-3. Fabry dashing in. Tried to cut inside, but McNabb stayed with him. Osterley back on it for Detroit. Phillips Zadina. And now Fabry lost it. And the Golden Knights, Alex Pietrangelo with possession. Cotter deflects it in. He'll head off for a change. Puck at center ice. Tipped in by Fabry. Haig back to get it. Pietrangelo lead pass on the money to Matthias Janmark. Into the Detroit zone. Pulls up. Feeds it towards Waugh. Pietrangelo let it rip, and Grice squeezes it. 7.5 to go in the second. The Golden Knights up 1. The second here at the Fortress tonight. We'll take a look at our reliable coverage, and it's brought to you by CarShield. These teams right up there in terms of even strength goals on the season. That's updated through the 3 goals in this game so far tonight, all of which have come at even strength.
Special teams haven't had a factor in this game, and look at both Detroit and Vegas said Golden Knights used to being near the top for even strength goals. It's a new thing for the Detroit Red Wings. Their offense up after been down for about 5 years.
Now the Golden Knights led the league as Whitecloud wrist shot score! Looked like that may have been deflected on the way. Nick Waugh was in front, and Zach Whitecloud let it go from out high. The Golden Knights are up 2 again.
Welcome back, Zach. As he comes in right off the face-off a win, get pucks to the net. Good job, Waugh wins it. Traffic in front, you can see Janmark parked. I'm not sure what that hits. It goes right in as Whitecloud finds the lane. Grice doesn't see it. It's right upstairs over that left shoulder. Caught the jersey of DeKaiser and went past Grice as Whitecloud's second of the season, second of the game. Golden Knights back up 2.
Now Zach Whitecloud There's no question that hit something on the way to the net, and as Shane said, it hit the jersey of DeKaiser. He was camped out down low with Janmark. It's the first career 2-goal game for Zach Whitecloud, returning after missing the last dozen. And the Golden Knights leading it 3-1. Vegas fell behind 3-1 in the game in Detroit a couple of weeks ago in the first period. Golden Knights probably deserved a little bit better. They played real good in the opening frame. Eventually fell 5-2. Now up 3-1 tonight. Giovanni Smith with a wrist shot on, turned away by Robin Lehner. Kolasar on the wall, pressured by Osterley. And Lindstrom will steer it in deep. Puck to the corner. 5 players looking to work it out. And you can hear they want him to move it. They're trying. Hutton digs it out. Bertuzzi with a body on him. Feeds it to Valeno, and his wrist shot missed. Osterley steps up to keep it alive for Detroit. Bertuzzi covering for him out top. Feeds it down low, tipped wide by Larkin. There's Raymond to keep it going. Berchi chips it to himself. Kolasar at the red line. He'll throw it in and head off. Well, the Whitecloud goal from Waugh. It was Nick Waugh that won that draw clean. Back to Whitecloud. And the Golden Knights up 3-1. Stevenson banks it around. Pietrangelo moves it up ahead. So the Red Wings gave up 5. The start of this road trip, losing in Columbus, 5 more in Dallas. They've given up 3 tonight through not quite 2 full periods. Pietrangelo plays it up the wing. Stevenson pressured by Leddy, able to dig it out for Pietrangelo, who lost it to Suter. Suter able to keep it alive just inside the blue line. Skates it across out high. Moves it up to Fabry, looking backdoor for Hronek. He'll swing it down to Fabry. Curls back up, lays it off for DeKaiser. Throws it off for Suter. Pass out in front, puck close, a backhander, turned away by Leonard, off the stick of Zadina. Philip Zadina's had a couple of good chances in this period for Detroit.
Well, another big save by Robin Lehner. The Golden Knights just couldn't get out of their zone. Couple of turnovers, and Lehner saves the day.
Offside on the wings will stop play. 4:51 to go in the second. What a return to the lineup for Zach Whitecloud tonight. His first career 2-goal game. On this game, his first and second of the year. First 2-goal game in the NHL as we take a look at Shane's Spotlight tonight, brought to you by your Southern Nevada Chevy dealers.
Well, Zach Whitecloud's had a great game. He's been able to come in the lineup after missing 12. Got his first of the season, as you mentioned, and his second to make it a 3-1 game. Great shot from the point, got deflected off Red Wings DeKaiser, the defenseman's back, and said, bring Zach Whitecloud. We looked at what he'd bring defensively to the Golden Knights, but he's brought it at both ends of the ice.
Up ahead, Janmark on a breakaway. Save Price. Matthias Janmark looking for his first goal of the season. Sprung on the breakaway by Nick Waugh. Puck loose and Waugh feeds it down towards Smith. Back to Waugh again. Pass blocked away and the Wings look to break. Suter with Zadina and Fabry. Pass picked off though by Coghlan. Golden Knights right back the other way. Riley Smith passes behind Nick Waugh though, and that stopped the rush in its tracks. Matthias Janmark has not scored in his last 21 regular season games. Zadina with a wrist shot blocked away. What a golden opportunity there and a clean breakaway. Ronbjerg jams it out. Cotter to the red line, will throw it in. Osterley back to nudge it around the boards. Puck pops into the middle, and Lindstrom up ahead to Rasmussen, who clears it. Now Haig across to Pietrangelo, who winds it in. 3:35 to go in the middle period. Dave Gosher, Shane Nutty, Ashley Weiss. Great to have you with us from T-Mobile Arena. Icing on Detroit, and play is stopped.
Oh, good chance for the Golden Knights to extend their lead. Matthias Janmark Great feed by Nick Waugh. Starts in their own end, and you can see Janmark. He's going to recognize that open ice. A change at the Detroit bench. Gets a step. Good little play as Nick Waugh sends it up to Janmark all alone, and he's looking 5-hole. And Grice closes it up.
Here's Pietrangelo, his drive deflected wide. Lindstrom took a big hit from Kolasar, was able to keep his feet behind the net. Haig with a wrist shot blocked away by Ernie. He'll flip it out. Pietrangelo giving chase. Pressured by Nemesnikov. Pietrangelo plays it to himself off the boards, and he'll clear it. Hronek with Kolasar in pursuit. Leddy pressured by Berchi. And Larkin around the glass. Bertuzzi. White Cloud there for Vegas, but here is Larkin. Streaking into the Golden Knights end. Driving wide on Stone. Takes it around the back of the net. Larkin centered it. Cleared away by the stick of White Cloud. And Mark Stone leads the Golden Knights the other way. Banks it into the offensive end. Larkin had the pass picked off, but stays with it. Now Raymond to the neutral zone. Has it taken away by Stevenson. Zach Whitecloud, his first career 2-goal game, first 2-point game as well. Dadonov up ahead, intended for Stevenson. Said it's the first time in the regular year that Whitecloud and Haig have scored in the same game. Of course, it was in Game 7 against Minnesota in the playoffs last year. They each had big goals. The other 3 came from Matthias Janmark in that Game 7 victory over the Wild. Smith with Seider to the corner. Riley Smith swings it back up ahead. Coughlin passed to Wad, intercepted by Bertuzzi, and he'll run it out. Wad regains possession. Coughlin up for Janmark, and he'll deflect it in. Now De Keyser behind the net. Ran into Wad. And Janmark in the neutral zone. Said bumped up on this line with Wad and Smith in the second period. And Pete DeBoer's touched on it with Matthias Janmark still dealing to a degree with the effects of having COVID. His ice time a lot of nights is just based on how he feels physically. Here's Howden for Haig, and around the horn for Pietrangelo. Back to Haig again, long drive, and Kolasar just tipped that wide. Still in search of his first of the year.
Now, whatever Pete DeBoer did, the change in the lines movement has been a much better period by Vegas. More jump in on the forecheck.
Here's Connor looking, and he scores! Paul Connor picks the corner. It's a 4-goal period for the Golden Knights as they lead it 4-1.
Another last-minute goal on this homestand of a period, and what a goal for Paul Connor. Second career goal, another beauty. Great pressure by the Golden Knights on the forecheck. Kolasar keeps it in, little feet. And look at the move Connor does on Seider. Little hesitation, pulls it back, and rips it upstairs. Here's the move, buys little time, changes the angle, and beats Grice. High blocker side, 4-1 for the Golden Knights.
2 goals in 4 NHL games now for Paul Connor. Recently picked up his first against Minnesota a week ago. And the Golden Knights with a 4-goal outburst in the second. Stevenson into the offensive zone. Now Stone pulls up. Haig a long wrist shot, gloved by Grice. He'll hold for the face-off. And now this from Knock the Injury Law.
Focus on the facts when picking a lawyer. Call Knock-Fee at 702-INJURED.
There's a look at Paul Connor. You know, we mentioned it, Shane. He scores his first NHL goal a week ago, goes to Henderson, scores in back-to-back games there. And here he is again with another one with the VGK.
Well, I think as a young player, you know, you're trying to work your way in, and there are a lot of, you know, call-ups, back down, but it's maintaining that mental toughness and recognizing when you get your opportunity to make the most of it, and he's been able to do that.
Trangelo's wrist shot hit Berchi. It's the second time in 3 games the Golden Knights have had a 4-goal period. They had 4 in the third period against Vancouver recently. And it's a 4-goal second period tonight. Whitecloud with 2, Haig with 1, And Cotter with one. 4-1 Vegas after 40 minutes.
Well, an outburst in the second for Vegas, and just like the way they played, more pace to their game, harder on the forecheck, created some plays, pucks to the net, and Zach Whitecloud leading the way with a pair. They have a 4-1 lead heading into the third.
Shots were 14-7 for the Golden Knights, 22-20 so far in this game. So Golden Knights head to the locker room with a 3-goal lead, and we head back upstairs to Darren.
Guys, Vegas, the only team in the National Hockey League with 3 defensemen with 3 or more goals right now. And they're working on a 4th thanks to Zach Whitecloud. When we continue in the second intermission, Darren Elliott with game analysis, Lawless in order, plus Ashley Weiss with a goal tonight, and you can expect that Zach Whitecloud will come up in that conversation. 4-1 after 2.
And those are your woo moments of the night. Brought to you by Finley Chevrolet. A 4-goal second period for the Golden Knights. They've opened up a 4-1 lead on the Detroit Red Wings as we get set for the third. Back inside T-Mobile Arena. No score after one, Shane. What a second period it was, though, for Vegas.
Well, it really was. Whatever was said in that first intermission really paid off in the second. I thought they were moving their feet. They were strong. They were aggressive. They attacked the zone early, putting pucks to the net. They didn't simplify things in a way, but it's all about winning the battles. Pucks to the point as Stone gets it back. Traffic in front, shot. And a good job as Haig jumps down and he beats Grice. That opened up the scoring for Vegas in the second. Then it was another play to the point. Stone, as he catches a pinching Zach Whitecloud. Whitecloud's first, and then he adds another one off a one face-off by Nick Waugh. That goes by Grice, and then Paul Cotter. Good job by Kolesar. A little turnover. He gets a takeaway. Sets up Cotter in a great little move. Little hitch, changed the angle, and ripped it home as Golden Knights have a 4-1 lead.
Our numbers through 2. The Golden Knights out shooting the Red Wings 22-21. Put up 4 goals in the second. Neither team has been able to cash in on the power play. And a change in net for the Red Wings. Alex Nedeljkovic comes in. Relief for Thomas Grice. After the Golden Knights put 4 on 22 shots on Grice in this game. Nedeljkovic, most recently in net just the last game for the Wings. So they've alternated goalies now, 17 straight games in terms of starting. Well, Nedeljkovic was in net for the loss in Dallas on Tuesday night. Third period underway. And Nick Hague back inside his own end. He'll move it up ahead. Stevenson trying to shovel it in, got blocked away by Herodic. And Bertuzzi sends it in deep. Robin Leonard will keep it moving for Alex Pietrangelo. Stevenson for Riley Smith that bounced away from him. And Tyler Bertuzzi scales it back into the Vegas end. Fabry providing a little heat on Hague. Hague goes down, puck loose for Janmark. Now Riley Smith and Ben Hutton to center, throws it in deep. Nedeljkovic out to play it. Traded from Carolina to Detroit in the offseason was Alex Nedeljkovic, a native of Parma, Ohio. 2 goals or less in 16 of his 23 starts with Carolina last year. As we said the other night, they revamped their goaltending department. Puck loose to Riley Smith in the corner. Really couldn't come to a deal with Nedeljkovic, so they dealt him to Detroit as a restricted free agent. Sider in deep. Lays it around for DeKaiser. He'll put it off the glass and out. Glove down by Ben Hutton. And Riley Smith back in. Sider behind his own goal. And the Golden Knights in the midst of a change up front. And DeKaiser banks it around his own net. Now Giovanni Smith cut off by Keegan Kolesar. Lecision breaking in deep. Ridden out of the play by DeKaiser. Baertschi comes in, feeds it out in front. Kolesar had his stick lifted by Gagne. And the puck back to the Vegas line, but not for long as McNabb clears it. Now Lindstrom winds it in. Gagne plays it to the corner for Giovanni Smith. Wrapped up with Lecision. They try to work it loose along that far corner. Coughlin does, and Potter clears. Racing back is Lindstrom with Cotter on his heels. He'll play it around for Osterley. Puck out in front, and Howden stopped by Nedeljkovic. That puck came right in front of Brett Howden, and Nedeljkovic with a tough first save for him.
Well, Brett Howden close to scoring in back-to-back games. Had a great goal against Carolina, and he has a prime opportunity. Good pressure, create the turnover. Cotter a little feet out front, and Howden skates right into this. And a good save by Nedeljkovic. That right arm as he gets tested here in the third.
Off this face-off, the Wings will control it. Ernie chipping it down the glass. Haig striding his way back, and now Pietrangelo. Up ahead. Howden trying to move it. Deflected out to neutral ice. And Nedeljkovic will leave it off. He'll play it for Leddy. Now Rasmussen. Pass up the middle, didn't connect with Namestnikov, so Hutton sends it right back in. Nedeljkovic out to move it himself. Larkin, puck out in front, and Stevenson put it over the net. That deflected to him. Had 2 point-blank chances for the Golden Knights in this third period. One for Howden and one for Stevenson. Stevenson on the wing keeps it alive. And to move it down a little bit further, Chandler Stevenson in search of his first shot of the game. Just put that one high over the net. Has it on his stick at center now. Shifting his way into the Detroit zone. Feeds it for Stone, and his shot turned away by Nedeljkovic. Make that 3 real good chances in the opening 4 minutes.
Well, pressure and speed is what's leading to those chances for Vegas.
White Cloud will chip it out. And now back on it is Seider. Sends it deep into the corner. McNabb for Hutton. And now Stevenson on the wing. Jeff Blashill, the head coach of the Wings, was talking about after his team had given up 5 goals for the second consecutive game in Dallas on Tuesday. He said, we're a pretty good team when we are hounding pucks. Pretty good team when we play offense. We're not a very good team defensively right now. They've given up 14 goals now in the last 3 games. Namestnikov. Riley Smith works it loose for Dylan Coughlin. Waugh behind the net. Going to work his way loose from Osterley and Lindstrom. Riley Smith joins the battle as well. Puck bouncing around, put out in front by Waugh and Mark, and it squirts to the far corner. Suter, a little touch pass for Zadina. Racing up ice against McNabb. His wrist shot and a pad save of Leonard. Red Wings with their first shot of the period. That's just over 5 minutes in. Coughlin with some time. Zips it up ahead. Posting up was Lecision to Janmark. Riley Smith to the net. Backhand score! Riley Smith, his first shot of the game, goes upstairs to make it 5-1.
Puck movement, speed, right from their own end is where this whole play develops. And Lecision's going to post up at the red line, call for the puck. And it's ripped up. Good little bounce pass by Coughlin. Lecision, Janmark to Smith. And a beauty as he goes backhand past Nedeljkovic on the glove side. A great goal. 3 quick passes in the back of the net. The Golden Knights have their 5th of the game. Smith 6th of the season.
Riley a little bit shaken up, kind of hit the back of his leg against the post after he put that in, but looks to be all right, and he is heating up lately. That's 4 goals and 8 points in his last 8 games. And the Golden Knights have put up a handful. Say Smith just made it 5-1, and they had great chances by Howden and Stevenson and Stone in this period before that. The first one they put behind Alex Nedeljkovic. Kolasar banks it out. So make that 3 games in a row. The Red Wings have allowed 5. Leno into the offensive zone. Into the corner. Squeezed off by Haig. Ron Burek moves it off for Howden. And now Pietrangelo with a high lob to Detroit territory. Howden along with Cotter and Ron Burek up front right now, but this will be an icing on Detroit. And a face-off back in the Wings' end as we'll take a look at our drive to the finish, brought to you by Subaru of Las Vegas.
Well, it's about doing exactly what they did in that second period of play. Rinse and repeat, and they have done that here in the third. A great start to the period. Pressure, great chances, and then finally able to break through for their 5th on a beautiful play that started their own end with Coughlin, Lecision, Janmark, and then ended with Riley Smith.
Off this face-off, Whitecloud with a wrist shot, blocked down in front. Battle for it in deep. Howden down, back up. Had a stick knocked out of his hands by Seider. And it's chipped out by Nemesnikov. Whitecloud. He'll bank it into the Detroit zone. This is going to be an icing on the Golden Knights. And a face-off. You know, under the circumstances, Shane, and see how these next 13 minutes go for the Golden Knights. Everything this team has been through, they have a chance to move to 4-1 on this homestand with Columbus waiting in the wings on Saturday night.
Oh, and they talked about the importance heading into it, you know, take advantage of home ice, play well, and they've done a real good job. Maybe the first probably weren't very happy with the way it ended, but that second period really turned it on and continued here in the third.
Puck deflected high into the corner netting, so a whistle. And we'll step aside. Nearly 7 minutes played in the third, and the Golden Knights able to extend the lead in the third period. 4 goals and 8 points in the last 8 games for Riley Smith. Sportsnet is brought to you by Universal Windows Direct, where you'll love your new windows. And by CarShield. CarShield, cars go farther. At the Fortress tonight, Game 5 of the 6-game homestand for the Golden Knights. Nick Hague with a goal, Zach Whitecloud with 2, Paul Cotter and Riley Smith with 1 apiece. Here's Raymond. He'll dish it back to Leddy. So this is Game 3 of a 4-game road trip for the Wings. They're trying to avoid being skunked in the first 3, but they're down by 4 here in the third. Bertuzzi put it off the post in tight. Real good chance for Tyler Bertuzzi, looking for his 10th goal of the season. Wings will wrap up the trip in Arizona Saturday. Puck out to neutral ice. And with it is Larkin, up ahead to Bertuzzi. Gains the line to Raymond. Raymond trying to center it. Haig blocks it. Dodonov plays it to himself off the corner boards, and now Pietrangelo backhands it to the line, but not out. Larkin curls down the slot. Shot glove down by Leonard. Larkin put it right back through the middle. And Stevenson up through center ice for Dodonov. Has Stone with him, trying to feed it to Stone, and Hronek blocked the pass. McNabb back at neutral ice. Scales it in around the dasher.
A couple of great chances for the Red Wings. Leonard with some big saves, and all coming off a turnover. The Golden Knights able to come back with a nice little rush.
Golden Knights and the Wings wrapping up the regular season series already tonight. First season series that'll come to an end for Vegas. Lindstrom with a long wrist shot, hit his own man Rasmussen and deflects to the corner. Coughlin up the boards but not out. Osterley holds the line to keep it in. Now Rasmussen. He'll shovel it down behind the net. Nemesnikov checked by Riley Smith. And Riley Smith in the corner. Now Nick Waugh. Up ahead of Matthias Janmark. Janmark trying to fight through the Osterley check. They both went down. Lindstrom will play it around for Osterley. Now Lindstrom again. Shovels it around for Ernie. And Zach Whitecloud back to get it. Here's Kolasar. He'll start it out to the red line. Flips it in. Glove down by the Kaiser. And now Seider. Back to center ice to Kaiser, runs it in. Hutton back on it. And Zach Whitecloud, immediate impact, returning to the lineup tonight. First career 2-goal game. Decision into the offensive zone with Berchi. Berchi lost it in the skates though. And that allows DeKaiser to carry it out. Up the middle of Robbie Fabry. Here's Zadina cutting to the middle. Back to Suter. Tried to hit Fabry, but Fabry went down. And Nick Hague flips it out. Slowly rolls down to Nedeljkovic. 12 different Golden Knights on the score sheet tonight. Ties the most they've had in a game this year. Ron Burek to Howden darting in. Throws it on goal, and Nedeljkovic will squeeze tight. A little past the halfway point of the third period at T-Mobile Arena tonight. In summary, 4-goal second period for the VGK. Busted this game open. What a return for Zach Whitecloud. Golden Knights continue to have the highest scoring defense score in the NHL. Up out of 13 for the back end. Nick Hague with one tonight. And they've added to the lead on a Riley Smith goal here in the third period. Trying to improve to 4-1 on this homestand.
Well, Whitecloud's been impressive for a first game back after missing 12 at both ends of the ice. So you know he'd add defensively. He's made good plays, moved his feet. He's looked really sharp considering the time he missed.
Here's Hague. And I would imagine too, Shane, that the fortunate thing, if you want to call it fortunate, that Zach Whitecloud had that hand injury, had that surgery on it, that he's still able to keep up his cardio, I would imagine, keep skating and not lose that part of the game as he tried to get back and ready for this return tonight.
And I think it added a little bit of a jolt to the lineup to see somebody return. There's been a little too much the other way. Guys coming out of the lineup for Pete DeBoer and his team, and nice to welcome one of their regulars back. And Whitecloud's been very good. Had 2 goals, first time ever in his career.
Face off in the Vegas end. Stevenson wins it back to Pietrangelo, pushes it to Hague. He'll snap it up the glass to Dodonov. Now Stevenson into the offensive zone. Bertuzzi lost his stick in the process. And Leddy off for Larkin. He swings it through center. Hague and Raymond pursuing the loose puck. And Pietrangelo now up ahead to Stone. Makes his way through center, hitting Stevenson in stride with Dodonov going down the slot. Stevenson couldn't thread the needle as Lindstrom blocks it. Mostly around for Larkin. Went by him to neutral ice. And Nick Hague has it. He'll gain the Detroit line. Brett Howden into the corner. And now Paul Cotter picks it up. Feeds it off for Ron Burek out in front towards Howden. Nedeljkovic got a piece of that. Osterley feeding it off for Sam Gagne. Giovanni Smith chips it out. That hit somebody on the Detroit bench. So a whistle with 8:41 to go.
More good pressure on this line. That's kind of been the key for the Golden Knights in this game. The ability to get in on the forecheck, create turnovers, and that leads to good chances. A few of them early in this period. Chance for Howden. Stevenson had a chance. Stone with another. Nedeljkovic was sharp. Nick Waugh trying to find a way, and then a look at the goal. Great transition right from their own end to the other end as Smith goes to the back end.
And there's Leonard behind his own net. He'll snap it up the glass. Held into the line by Lindstrom. Now the Golden Knights have had people called up and have had to contribute. Paul Cotter with another goal tonight. And it's been out of necessity. Decimated by injuries and now with COVID protocols as of late. They're trying to improve to 10-7 through all of this, through just over 1 month of this season. Ernie on the forecheck, playing it out in front. Big save made by Leonard Rasmussen. Michael Rasmussen with a good opportunity. Pick up his first goal in 28 games Monday in Columbus. Nemestikov and Hutton to the end boards. And the puck loose for Nick Waugh. Now here's Janmark. To the Detroit line to Smith. His pass picked off. Wings on the counterattack. Nemestikov. Broken up though by Hague. Nick Hague on the left side, looking to move it out, held in. Nemestikov rolls across, throws it on goal. Leonard with a pad save. And Janmark has it now across to Riley Smith, who was headed off for a change. Well, got a fresh threesome up front now. Lecision, Berchi, and Kolasar hopping on. Hey, a little redirect for Lecision. And now the puck in the neutral zone where Lecision sends it in. And it hasn't only been the Golden Knights, Shane, that have had to deal with injuries. The Henderson Silver Knights have had some key people out as well. It's kind of been the big club and the American League team that have had to deal with this through the first month or so.
And some guys getting a good look because of it. You think some key guys for the Henderson Silver Knights, Dave Quinney out of the lineup, Jack Dugan, and it might have been guys considered to be call-ups, and that's why you've seen Paul Cotter come up, play well. Ron Bureau.
Stevenson feeds it out high. Dodonov, Stevenson, shot and a glove save. Nedeljkovic. 6:16 to go, and now this from Knockvie Injury Law.
Focus on the facts when picking a lawyer. Call Knockvie at 702-INJURED.
Look at Mark Stone. He and the Golden Knights with a 4-goal lead in the third period.
Well, he picks up another assist on the season for Mark Stone. 6 assists now through 5 games. Still looking for that first goal.
You have to imagine you see a heck of a reaction from him when that comes.
Paul Cotter's had a couple of good celebrations on both his.
Paul Cotter, his second goal tonight in his 4th NHL game. Stone up ice. Sends it across to Dodonov. Off to Stevenson and back to Dodonov again. Coughlin keeps it in. Looking out top. It's Dodonov in the corners. Pass though intercepted by Raymond. And the wings started out. Larkin shovels it in. And Stevenson with it now. Up ahead to Stone. He'll steer it down the boards. And offside though on Vegas. 5:37 to go. Third period tonight of the Golden Knights in control.
Cloud will be in the running for player of the night. We'll find out on the Findlay Automotive Group post-game show. Darren Millard back with you in section 117. Ashley Weiss expected to track down Zach Whitecloud for a second conversation on this night. She chatted with him upon his return after the first period. Darren Elliott with post-game analysis, and a big night for the Blue Line means we'll hang out with Shane Noddy as well. Dave?
All right, Darren, thanks very much. Robin Leonard and company.
I didn't get asked.
Is this the first you're hearing of this, Shane?
This is the first time hearing of this. I didn't know they were hanging out with me.
Lucky them. Here's Coughlin. Now Howden gains the line. Cotter looking. His wrist shot blocked. Mallard's not the best host in the league for nothing. Pretty confident Zach Whitecloud's going to be among the 3 stars. I think a chance Ashton's going to visit with him after the game. Right now, Mo Seider's shaking up in front of the Detroit net. Ronbjorg with a wrist shot up over the net. Seider's going to get off. Not being able to put any weight on that right leg. That doesn't look good for the 20-year-old rookie standout for Detroit.
No, he took a shot from Paul Cotter, who made a great little play after getting a feed in the high slot, and was blocked by Seider, and down he went.
And he's going down the runway to get looked at. Puck in behind the Vegas net. Out high, a wrist shot from Osterley blocked. Whitecloud flips it out. The New York Islanders lost Ryan Bullock 4 to 6 weeks. He blocked a shot the other night. Key cog in the Islander defense core. Catch it in the wrong spot. And Golden Knights have seen that. They had 2 players out with a broken foot, and Max Pacioretty and William Karlsson. Here's Ernie. Now Nemestikov. Waugh takes it away, and Hutton plays it up ahead for Janmark. Back to Hutton again as we hit 4 minutes to go. Haig backhands it high to the Detroit zone. This will be an icing on the Golden Knights. We'll take a look here what happened to Mo Seider.
Well, another good play by the Golden Knights is this little play. Cotter with a toe drag shot, and Seider catches it on that left ankle. Great play by Paul Cotter as Donnie went down, dragged around him, and the shot you see catches Seider right on that left. Very slow to get up, and not a good sign for Blashill. It's been a great rookie start for Seider.
Said he and Lucas Raymond, a couple of the young cornerstones of this rebuilding Detroit team. But Mo Seider had it off pretty gingerly after taking that shot from Cotter. 3.5 left, 5-1 Vegas. Leddy playing it up ahead. Fabry, and now Zadina shovels it around the wall. Haig looking to move it. Lecision will play it to himself off the back glass. Golasars to jump off his stick. Here's Zadina. Cuts into the slot. Pass intended for Hronek, blocked away by Berchi. Fabry lets it rip from a sharp angle, and Leonard holds tight. And he'll hold the short side as well with just over 3 minutes to go. We'll take a look at the upcoming schedule for the VGK, brought to you by City National Bank. As you see, the homestand comes to an end here Saturday against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and a quick little road trip for the Golden Knights to St. Louis and Nashville before coming home, celebrate Thanksgiving, and then the Edmonton Oilers to the Fortress coming up on Saturday, November the 27th. Off this draw, Coghlan will lift it out to neutral ice. Right back in comes Bertuzzi. Out high, Lundstrom with a shot. And that hit Coghlan. And he's going to hobble to the bench. Well, the puck's going to come back to him before that. That would work sometimes, Shane.
It does. Trying to get off the ice, and sure enough, that puck comes right back at you, and you've got to make a play.
Well, Dylan Coghlan made it to the bench. Puck into the middle. Braden McNabb has it, and he'll bank it out. Coghlan trying to shake this off in discussion with Mike Muir on the bench. Whitecloud up the glass and out. We mentioned next up at the VGK, the Columbus Blue Jackets here on Saturday. Cotter looking, shot. Nedeljkovic got a piece of that. And Columbus will come to Vegas fresh off a shootout win in Arizona earlier tonight. 5-4 victory for the Blue Jackets. Osterley curls back inside the final couple of minutes now. Osterley on the wing. Played it right to Pietrangelo. And now Hronek. Leonard cutting it off. Puts it up the glass. Gagne cut it off. Here's Veleno in front. Scores! Nice little move by Joe Veleno. With 1:26 to go. Picks up the second Detroit goal of the game.
Well, there's pressure on Leonard, and it ended up being almost a 2-0 in front as Leonard plays this around, and there's Smith, who kind of bumps into Leonard, drops his stick, and Veleno just able to walk in. See Smith in front, and he goes to the forehand, beats Leonard with the right pad. Well, the Red Wings with one late here to make it a 5-2 game.
Second of the year for Joe Veleno. He was the second of 2 first-rounders the Wings had back in 2018. They grabbed Philip Zadina at number 8. Beg your pardon, number 6, and then they grabbed Veleno at 30 in that first round. And he has goal number 2 on the year. Riley Smith to Zach Whitecloud, ripped it wide left. As they make the 1-minute announcement in the third period. Whitecloud wraps it in, and back to get it is Lindstrom. Now Leddy. Not a whistle here with 46.3 to go.
Oh, look at Zach Whitecloud, Paul Cotter, a couple of the goal scorers in this game. Whitecloud with the pair. And a real good performance. Pete DeBoer has to be happy with what his team's done, especially over this last 40 minutes. Really, that second period put them in good position. The start to the third, Leonard made some key saves. And a big win here to go 4-1 on this homestand.
Puck deflected deep into the Vegas end. White Cloud back to get it. 18,002. The attendance at the Fortress tonight. Ronbjerg, puck rolled away from him to Nedeljkovic. He'll cover and take a face-off with 25.6 to go. Said it's been an interesting couple of days, Shane, for this Golden Knights team. Another positive COVID test of Michael Amadio. They canceled practice today. Their media availability, they only had an optional skate yesterday, but all that being said, they got better as this game went on, and second period tonight was their best. They bolted out to that 4-1 win, 4-1 lead rather, and never did look back.
Well, it was a big period for them. They really got going, got to the game they've talked about playing, and I think that's something to build off of. Coaches preach it a lot, the style you want to play, but until the players kind of execute it and then see the success from it, that's what the best sell job for any coaching staff.
Golden Knights get their first win on home ice against Detroit, and they do it in convincing fashion. What a return to the lineup for Zach Whitecloud. His first career 2-goal game, and the Golden Knights with a 5-2 win to improve to 4-1 on the homestand. Now we'll take a look at our game changer of the night, and it's brought to you by Comprehensive Cancer Centers.
2 goals, missed the last 12 games, doesn't matter. Great little move on this one, jumping in from the point. Little move around the stick of Letty, slides it past Grice for his first tonight, and then one off the draw. Get it to the net. Kind of went off the jersey of the Kaiser, defenseman of the Red Wings, past Grice for his second, as Zach Whitecloud, big part of the victory here tonight for Vegas.
So the Golden Knights, they got 3 goals from defensemen in that second period, and they continue to have the highest scoring defense score in the NHL. So a good win for the VGK, who lost in Detroit 5-2 a couple of weeks ago. They rebound tonight with a 5-2 win of their own on home ice, and the homestand shaping up pretty good. 1 to go against Columbus on Saturday. But right now, back upstairs we go. Here's Darren.
Dave, thank you very much. I hope I didn't cross any lines there when I invited Shane Knighty to join the program. History tonight. Vegas has now defeated all 31 teams at T-Mobile Arena with this win over the Detroit Red Wings. Coming up, we'll chat with Darren Elliott on the game. Ashley Weiss connects with the Vegas Golden Knight players, and you'll hear from Pete DeBoer as they improve to 4-1 on the homestand. Post-game shows next